Efe's in the house, please, and she's always on time. Unlike some people that, in
Hey
fact, I'm going to even call.
Always
I'm
on
going
God.
to call you
time.
out. I'm ready.
Always
Hey,
on
Oh.
time. Hey, always on time since March 2021. Oh,
no, even before
um
March 2021 was a new dawn in Efe's
wow.
life.
Wow.
yeah. As the senior involved, I would take the high road here. I don't want
Okay.
to get into, childish higgy hearts.
Dance.
Yeah. So welcome to another episode. This is Olori.
This is Eka.
And this is Efe. Apparently, I'm now the timekeeper for this group because my seniors, they don't have respect.
Is it your alarm that's going off now that you're still doing timekeeper
There's
for
my
the
own
this?
alarm. Oh,
Okay,
sorry.
okay. Let's
Apologies.
Please
let's
don't come.
let's
Look, oh, this is a typical case of Olori coming for me. Hey
Hey God,
God,
hey God.
wahala.
Please, Iru FC, please calm down. That's the next episode. Please, I don't have energy
Hey God.
for this right now. Please, thanks. Let's move forward. So what they yeah, let's do the first gist. I think it was me and Eka that were on the clubhouse thing, yeah, where they were
Mm.
dissecting this Derrick Jan issue from a mental health perspective. And there was this guy that I can't remember his name, Ricky Wiley or something, and I think they had introduced him in the room as a therapist or counselor. And after his whole speech, I realized I think maybe he's one of these church counselors, which means that you may not have had the training, right, for what I call real therapy. We are coming from a biblical, angle, right? Now, the issue with that is when you combine spirituality and your an ability to speak very well, right? People tend to miss the nonsense they are saying,
Mm.
because by the time this guy was done with his speech, me and Eka were like, was it us or
And
like
it, and
like
it's not something, normally all the spiritual talk they'll say, oh, that you're not in the spirit is a lie. It was rubbish. Forget
because
that. It
like
was
Eka,
rubbish.
correct me if I'm wrong, but he was trying to make it like allude to the fact that the lady at the story of the lady at the well,
I don't even
right?
know how that
When
one entered.
Jesus was, I guess,
Tempted.
but no, thank you.
I don't
Maybe
even
I wasn't
know because
because
he talked
the
about
story,
temptation there with
my sister,
Jesus
that's
and
where
lady
that's
well.
where I'm going to. The story, as I recall from the Bible, and I'm not a Bible scholar, so please keep me honest. You put that read the Bible very well. Is that I think God was Jesus was passing through a well or like a city, and he was thirsty, so he saw a well and a woman fetching water, and asked her,
Hmm.
that lady, can I have some to drink? And I think maybe because of a tribal issue, she was like, I can't really, or
She
that
was
we
a
don't really
Samaritan, I
mix.
believe. Or
Yeah, so
yeah.
that we don't really mix or whatever. And then after some back and forth, I think Jesus was like, by the time, like if you come to know me or whatever, I'll give you more. Like you'll be the one asking me, for what to drink, because I have more to give than just physical water or whatever, right?
Mm.
Now this homeboy in this club room house or club clinical house had the guts to make it seem like because the lady liked what Jesus did for her, she was willing to give up her body, right? Something precious to Jesus. And then Jesus, being the leader that he is, right, said no, no, no. And then, the lady now realized that, that rather than giving her body up, that, let her help Jesus spread the news in town. I'm like, that is not how I recall the story though. Like that is not how
I
I recall
can't
the
like I
story goes.
can't remember that story going like that, so I don't know what to like.
Exactly. So the guy basically was saying that, sometimes, when you're a man in a position of leadership or, therapy or whatever, working with women, and you help them out, that they may want to give you something precious, which is basically their body. So you as
Oh
the
my
leader
god.
have to know how to pull back. And I'm like, I don't even see how that links to the Derrick, issue. So it's like, and the way the guy was speaking, like his oratory skills was on point, bringing in
Mm-hmm.
the Bible. I was like, this is a really skilled speaker, but you're talking in rubbish and nonsense. So I was really like,
Exactly.
people need to be careful, like what they, I guess, absorb, because it
Yeah.
sounds nice.
Mm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Try all spirits. That's my takeaway point, please. Sorry, I mean, Eka, I
Exactly.
don't know if you had anything to jump on that, because I was
No. Oh,
really,
I was
going
upset
off.
because I was waiting for correct gist. This guy was now bringing in. And he spent so long. And the worst part is that he said, "Oh, he just has a few things to say. He's not here to bash Derrick Jaxn. He just wanted to make a few points." And then he goes into a whole 10 minutes of crap. Sorry to say,
I
ah,
mean, it was more or less
That's
crap, to be
nonsense.
honest.
nothing linked to the whole topic at hand here now. Ah,
The thing is, whenever men cheat, this is my problem. They try to, whether it's a pastor or whatever, you always try to blame the woman. Why can't you take responsibility for your actions? Oh, he's a pastor, he's a man of God. She came in, she's a what they call, I think Jezebel. She's a Jezebel. She came and she seduced him. Like, no,
Delilah.
you're not. That's exactly Delilah. Like now you're saying you're trying to use a scripture from the Bible and you're trying to twist it to fit into the narrative. That's nonsense, I beg. When women cheat, no, let's stone her to death. A man cheats and it's like we're giving excuses. Nonsense.
And you know what? I'm going to take a second gist, but let's just, as it is hot, let's just,
let's just dive
go
in
in.
because we are
Go
doing it half
in.
half, please.
Yeah, so I
Let's
want to start
dive
with the
in.
initial. I mean, you all by now are familiar with Derrick Jaxn, spelled Jaxn.
Hmm.
You all are familiar with the issue. He's a relationship expert, coach, whatever.
Did anybody know
Um,
before this thing?
yes,
Me, I
yes,
did
I
not
Yeah,
know
me
knew
him.
too.
Oh.
I knew him.
But
I knew him
no,
before.
I did not know
Um,
him, but when I then went, because when I now saw the news and I now went to his profile, I was like, oh, I've seen
I've
this
seen
like
this
guy's
guy.
videos
Exactly.
on somewhere.
on the
YouTube.
Explore, yeah.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah. So, yeah, this guy, after saying that women should, don't forget your crown. If a man is treating you like trash, you should leave, which I think that message is still strong, please. Now, homeboy come to find out was cheating on his wife the entire, I guess, for a good bit of the marriage that that they had. And he didn't come out. It was a blogger that outed him. At first it made it seem like the lady in question in the particular like the story that came out, he was like, that lady in question, I didn't have sex with her. But then in his full tell all, reveal all live Instagram video, he was like there were some other women and that sex was involved with those other women, and his wife was by his side through the difficult times. Now if you had stopped there, this cringe-worthy experience would have been okay, but it did not stop at that point in time. So the wife has come out to do several other videos in her beret of salvation and her breastplate of righteousness. So please, ladies, your initial reactions on that.
Ah. My initial reaction, as we have cleared the air, I was like, who is this guy on our feed getting so much attention? And what is him and his what are they doing here, him and his wife? Only for me to watch the video. The first time I actually just watched 3 seconds of it and I was like, please, I'll go back to it. And then I went to start reading the comments. Then I got interested. I was like, okay, let me go and watch the full. Is it 7 minutes or 9 minutes? And then I now watched it, and at first I was like, okay, man cheated. His wife is here to say that, and both of them are here to say they've worked it out. They're okay, but because he's a what do you call it? A coach, a relationship coach. He now has to come and apologize to the world as well. But then I saw another video where he was doing an Instagram live session. I was like, okay, he's also answering questions like it now became. I was like, this one is becoming too much. Normally, when people who are either whether Instagram real celebrities, sorry, not that Instagram celebrity are not real when all these cheating scandals come, what we normally see is a statement from their management or a statement from them, or just a written statement, or even if they come out, they speak they say they talk, and then that is the end. So I was like, okay, why are we going? I now said, okay, maybe he's using it as a teaching lesson because he's a coach. But then the days went by and more came from the wife, from the husband reacting to his video. That's when I knew that I need to invest my time in understanding who this guy is and what the madness is going on. That's when I even hit Clubhouse to understand. Let me know the gist well, who this guy is. And to be honest, all I can say in summary, I know we'll get to that point, is that the whole episode is just ridiculous. And they are scammers. Sorry to say.
Me, sure. My initial thought was just. I mean, I'm always, if someone cheats on you, walk away. That was what I said, and I still stand by it. Now, as for what happened, I didn't even bother. Like when I see cheating videos, I don't bother, especially when it comes from so-called coaches. All these coaches, like, you guys should leave me alone. Anyways, I'm the one that is watching the video. But anyways, my thing is just the wife should have just walked away. It's easier said than done, but for me personally, like I said, just walk away. And I said it, I think in our group chat, I was saying it that the woman is still with him because it's a business thing. If he wasn't a coach, I feel, well, to be honest, you guys were saying something about religious thing, which I think also ties some women down to marriages that they shouldn't be in. But to keep it simple, my thing was just walk away. I do not condone cheating, whether it's a pastor, coach, a fuck boy, whoever. Like if you cheat,
Ooh.
I'm out. That's all. Yeah. So that's my point.
So I evolved in my position on this issue as the issues unfolded, right? Because to me, I think that to your point, it's easy to say like I don't have any emotions to Derrick Jaxn, like he does. As in, you know what I mean. So it's easy for me to
Yeah.
say, at the first sight of cheating, leave, right?
Mm.
Especially as he claimed at on the first video that he did where he said that, oh, for that particular woman that came out, that it wasn't sexual, but they were like doing things that were inappropriate. I was like, okay, maybe the marriage hit a rough patch, stuff happened, it's still inappropriate, but I can see how maybe as a couple you want to walk through that issue. So
Mm.
for me, I was thinking that internally they've worked through the issue, but because of the nature of his job, he has to not that it's out, he has to publicly clear his name, similar to the whole Jeddah and entanglement issue, right?
Mm.
Because they had already solved the issue internally until August
Yeah.
came out, right? So to me, I'm like, okay, that's fine. So I wasn't even bashing the woman standing by her man, right? Would I or would I not do that? I don't know. But to me, I can see her saying that if I've forgiven you and I've moved on and we are moving on, I want to support you in this because you will look, maybe there will be less of an attack on you if I come with you than just, coming you coming alone. So I was like, people should give them space to heal and move on. Now that was where I was, at the first video. The second video that's there coming out from the wife and then him, I was like, nah, boo, yours are crazy. First of all, the wife is going to do a video talking about warfare of salvation or like that there's a warfare on marriages. I'm like, sis, the only warfare on your marriage was brought about by your husband. Like there's no other warfare, right? If the devil is working, the instrument of the work was your husband, right?
Mhm.
So let's focus on that versus, because sometimes when we do this whole there's a warfare on something, it's like a very like abstract concept. Who do we blame? Who do we hold accountable? Do you get what I mean? So for me, that was like nonsense. Then when he now did a reaction video, because he does reaction videos when a popular man is caught cheating, he would do a reaction video on
Mhm.
how he thinks the guy has handled the issue, whether the guy has apologized or whatever. He'll do it like but like basically, he will say, in looking at the guy's body language, I don't really buy his apology, or in looking at the guy's body language, I agree that he's really sorry, right? So this guy had the nerve to do the same thing, watching his own video where he tells it all. And I'm like, okay, now we're just in gamified territory. Now we're just playing games at this point in time. You want the views, you want the followership. I don't know if your book sales are going to
He's
be
selling his book because everything was selling book.
link in the
Him
bio,
going
right?
back to book. Yeah, he was
Yeah.
always in the comment section linking back to book. Mm.
So to me, I'm like, at this point, no. To me, there was no excuse at that point. Now, and I also, my sympathy for the wife also kind of went down, because to me, I'm like, at some point in time, you are a participant in your own foolery, right?
Mhm.
I'm not saying that you have to leave, but you don't have to be like, but you don't have to play the game, right? And for the first time in my social media career, is like, this is the first time that I agree that somebody is a narcissist. Like, because you can't help
Mhm.
yourself. Do you get what I mean? Like
Mm.
you know better than what you are. Like in like hire a PR company or something, or do a press statement. At this time, please give us some space as a family to heal, right? But all this nonsense that you're doing is unnecessary, and it's really just about you trying to feed your own ego, because all eyes
Mm.
are on you right now. So that's kind of where I left with it. But kind of speaking on like that, the whole narcissistic thing, right? Do you
That's
think
yeah.
there is a mental health excuse, or when I say excuse, is there a can we sprinkle mental health on this and make this less less disgusting. If that makes sense. Like, can we
No,
sprinkle the
no,
mental
you
health
can't.
angle?
You cannot do that. I'm sorry. It's like you can't. I can't make excuse for a narcissist. It's like people that say, "Oh, he's a sociopath. That's why he kills people," or "He's a kidney." No, like if you're sick, get help. Not for you to come and say, "Oh, I'm a narcissist." Or some people don't even believe they're narcissists. My thing with this guy is once somebody you made a mistake. Your wife did not cheat with you. Both of you did not cheat together. Why are you bringing the woman in? That was my own thing. Because for me, that was the first sign. I was like, this woman needs to walk away. If you messed up, come and deal with it by yourself. All the times you're on your platform, I never saw his wife because I know I used to watch this guy's video, but I never knew his name. But I used to see like his side thing on YouTube. So I'm like, oh, let me click how to do this. This one, Kiniko. But I'm like, why this woman? We've not seen this woman like. I didn't even know the guy was married. So it's like when you're responding to cheating allegations, your wife has not. You should be protecting your family because now he brought his wife out, and people are now attacking her. No, it is you we want to attack. But bringing out this woman, that is a pure narcissist. Like because they always want to manipulate everything, every situation, and the people that choose to put up with their BS. So my thing is all this narcissism, not like narcissist. Yes, I mean being a narcissist is a mental health issue, but it's also a personal choice to an extent. Like you can choose not to be a narcissist. Selflessness is not, you don't need medication to be selfless.
Yes,
It's not like you're
yes,
depressed. So it's
yes.
selflessness is not a medicated thing. You just have to learn to listen, comprehend, and then act. Because the thing with this narcissist is if it's the other way around, if it was his wife that did it or any other narcissist, they will not take it. They
Right,
won't. So it's just
right.
like I don't. I mean, yeah, it's a mental health issue, yes, but you don't need medication. Like sociopaths even need medication. Narcissists, you don't. You're just a selfish person, and that's just my own take.
Actually, to even kind of piggyback on that, one thing that I think, like, that I was done with the whole mental health thing, because these days we all want to sprinkle mental health angle. I
Mm-hmm.
think it's one thing for you to say, I was raised this way,
Mm-hmm.
right? And and everything about you is that way. But
Yeah.
this guy will go in his car and record a video
Mm-hmm.
saying one thing, and you are about to drive to or drive from your side chick's house. Like, I don't
Exactly.
like I don't understand. Like, to me, living a double life is a choice. Like, because you have to actively do things to, you know, align each life,
Mm-hmm.
right? So for me, once that choice comes in, I can't give you a mental health. Like, I can't, because the whole idea of even the insanity defense is that I
Yeah.
couldn't do anything about it. If you're making
Exactly.
choices, then to me, then you could do something about it. So that why, to me, the whole mental health thing, like, I'm out. But please, Eka, do you want to give us any take on that?
I would say, like, I think, as if it said, narcissism is a personality disorder. So in essence, it is like there's a mental disorder there. So just agreeing that that eh, is a first good step. But as you said, Olori, the issue here now is that, okay, do we then say that, as you said, the guy cheating on his wife, apologizing to his wife, and then new allegations coming up of another side chick that he was even communicating with in March. Well, where when can we blame this person and not blame the fact that, oh, I have something that, like, I
Right,
don't know if you get what I mean. But then you also wonder, because of the severity of the stupidity, if you would say, it's like, can a human being be this stupid and selfish on purpose?
Exactly.
Do you understand what I mean? So that's where I believe that, okay, I would understand where I would say, okay, this one, you're mental, because you cannot go to this extreme to be so selfish, to hurt somebody so much, and publicly come, and you're publicly coming to denounce this act. You're privately doing the act. Then you are coming with your wife to publicly come and say that you are a changed person. You're even adding religion to the mix.
Mm-hmm.
But then after that, we are now seeing, whether it is true or not, I don't know. We are now seeing that you, in March, you're still communicating with your side chick, but you're saying that you and your wife have walked through it and you're now a changed person. So for me, you're not normal, you're mad. You have to be mad because you cannot be a normal person and be doing stupid things like that. Now, your madness is the kind of madness that, for example, Nigerian government will tell me that snake swallowed money. You have to be mad. You understand what I mean? So, like, it's that kind of madness of, okay, you've reached the point where, like, you're so um you're not even you're oblivious to your sins, that your conscience is not there again. You don't give a hoot, so you just spew rubbish and you just expect people to take it, or I don't know. So it's I think, because why I say this, because me now, I believe I am normal, and me as a normal person, I cannot understand this
Exactly.
abnormality that is going on. So there is something wrong with your mental health. It has to be.
Mm-hmm.
And you need a doctor, you need therapy, at least that one we know. You need to be cured, because and then you're coaching other people. I mean, what are the odds? And you decided to choose the topic that you seem to be bad at. Ah,
Actually,
The
now
but
thing
what?
is, a lot.
so can I say something on that? Because I wanted to go in that direction, right? Because this guy, if I from what I understand, he played college football, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think he made the NFL. Not that I don't think he probably didn't make the NFL, which is the National Football League in the US, right?
Mm,
Hmm.
Now, I think in this age of social media, I mean, people stumble upon careers, right? Maybe
mm,
you
Mm-hmm.
post one woke thing, right? And
Monetize your
then
knowledge.
mm,
thank you. Now, because I don't know if you guys know this guy, and I don't think this guy is on the same boat as this Derrick person, but I think his name is Sully Bricks. I think that's his either his Twitter or his IG. That is his IG handle, right?
mm,
And I think the
Mm.
first time he came to popularity was, I think he shared a post about him and his wife had woken up at 2 a.m. and spent the remaining of the morning gisting in bed and laughing and having a good time. So many people were now citing that post as marry your friend, friendship is key. And since then I've seen
Yeah.
him do many posts about like marriage, because he's also like, while we have those moments, we've had moments with that it's been rough too. That was his follow-up post. But basically since then he's been doing things about like marriage and relationships, those kinds of posts, right? So I wonder if like that guy, right, maybe just did one video, right?
Mm-hmm.
It went viral. Then now you're a
Yeah.
coach. Now you have books, right? But there's no qualification. And I think that's what we miss in the age of social media. There is no
Mm.
qualification for what you have claimed you are good at doing.
But do we know? But do we know if Derek doesn't have qualification?
I'm not aware. Let me check his page. Did he put any
he didn't
PhD
put
Yeah, because I
anything?
mean I
anything.
know
He
there are a
didn't put
lot of.
anything. I'm on his page now. It just
Yeah,
say
because he will have
healing,
put it.
Yeah,
healing,
okay.
healing and health relationship, healing and healthy relationships. God's way.
That's it. Oh,
Romans eight thirty
That's
one to
just all.
39.
that's it.
Even on his Instagram page, he didn't put anything.
Nothing. So, and he will have put it if it was like, that, oh, by the way, I'm not like your usual
Yes, because a
I've,
lot of
I have,
people
yeah,
do that. Yeah.
That is basically just a stranger, just I don't know, rehashing things and just telling, like just
he's giving
talking
us
about them.
the male perspective.
He's
That
Yeah.
what
basically
is
he's basically a YouTuber, no? Before even,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
actually, let me also kind of segue into something else though. The side chick,
Mm.
right?
Mm.
What was your point in kind of coming out this way? Because clearly, maybe you thought at one point in time he was going to leave his wife for you. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Now, as it's dragging, now you know that okay, oh, this is not really going to happen.
Yeah.
Okay, but can
What are you going
I
to
just
get from coming out like this? Yeah.
just say, if somebody chooses to be a side chick, because some people are side chicks, but they don't know that the person they're with is married or is in a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
You know this man, you've seen his picture. So for someone
She
like that, I always say
Sorry,
people.
she didn't know he was married, by the
Oh,
way.
is that what
That's
she
this
said?
side chick
The
that oh,
doctor
which
one.
side chick? Oh yeah, the doctor one. That is what I saw. Or
Wait, so
they
does he
or
have more than one side chick?
Yeah,
now
yeah.
see
FA,
Hey,
the
what's going
I
on?
last one
FA,
that
what's going
came
on
out,
here?
this surgeon one or doctor one now is
uh,
the one he met in October. Before
Yeah,
that, the main one that came out was that
2016.
Jamaican stroke
Wow.
Dominica or whatever lady who is also a model or something or Instagram this thing. So that
It
was the
get
first
plenty. Oh, it's
person.
not a
That was
one-off
the first,
stuff.
yeah, that was the first person that came out, and then
Hmm.
other people came out or something like that. So yeah, there are
Wow.
many.
Right,
But
let
I
me
think
just
the Sojourn one, she knew, like she didn't. I don't know. I know that that first one that came out when she, because she said, I read something where she said when she went to his house, the wife was not there and there were boxes. So it's like him and his wife had split up. Oh no, they weren't married then because him and his wife just got married in 2018 or something, or 2019. So they've not been
hmm.
married for long. They've been together for long.
For a
They
long
had,
time, yeah.
yeah, they've had, I think their first child, they had the child before they got married, but he
Is that
wasn't
God's
married
way?
then.
Is that
He
God's
wasn't.
way?
No,
Is
she
that
wasn't. It's now.
is
It's
that
now that she has been born again. So they
okay?
weren't married
Oh,
then. So
wow.
if she went to his house and he said, okay, him and his babe are separated, she's seen boxes like the babe has moved. So she
Hmm.
didn't know she was a side chick. She's just going out with a guy that is not married, not knowing that he has a history.
Hmm.
You know. So yeah, that's all
Hmm.
I can say.
Like for me, I don't think that all the side chicks didn't know. I think some side chicks knew.
Some new,
And to
yeah.
me, this seems like
Yeah,
event because I don't, because if it's a random single guy that dated you and dumped you, right? Why, like
exactly.
there's no blackmail involved, right?
Hmm.
Move on. Do you get what I mean? So for me, for it to be a blackmail thing, you knew that he had something to lose by you coming out. So for me, I just feel like if you really had concern for the wife, send her a text. Send her a DM
Wait, did
that.
the side chick say she had concern for the wife?
No, I'm saying that if you're forming that the reason why you want to come out is because you have concern for that you want the wife to know what her
Oh,
husband is
okay.
doing, text her,
Mm.
Hmm.
DM her.
Yeah, you don't
But
have
this
to
whole
come
like public
publicly.
thing was
Mhm.
unnecessary. Like to me, it was like I don't know what you're getting from even the surgeon lady that was, as in, she didn't even seem like that there's anything wrong with, like, I'm like, sis, like like you met somebody in October, by November you're already having unprotected sex
Yeah.
to the point where you're pregnant in beginning of December. You're a doctor, for crying out loud. Like,
Hmm.
Mm. You people, maybe you don't know, maybe Derek Jackson, he's an orator. We just talked about a man that was talking on a clubhouse, and then after, in the end, we realized, and if you're not guided, if you're not strong, and it's cold during the winter months, you're lonely.
Yeah.
Derek Jackson will now
that's
come
true.
and
That's
talk,
winter
chuck,
period.
chuck, chuck, chuck,
It's
chuck.
winter period. It's winter
Because the way
period.
the
That's
guy
true.
looks, the way the guy even looks, he can open his mouth and spill rubbish. You will not hear rubbish. You'll be hearing that will be your love language. You say, "Oh my Derek," and then later you realize what, this guy is married. Or even if you knew he was married, you'd be like, "Oh, this guy is not leaving his wife." Hmm.
But can we also talk about the Christian angle, like, and what I call the
Mm,
Christian brainwash? Because as much as I am annoyed by the wife, I really feel like she believes that that marriage is under attack, and that she's going to be one of the
mm,
warriors to not allow herself be used as an example. Do you get what I mean? And I'm like, how do we
mm-hmm.
disconnect ourselves from that? Okay, because yes, Bible said don't divorce, but I thought there was a clause for you know except there's
Mm.
adultery involved.
Yeah,
But
there
even
exactly
beyond
there
that, I feel
is.
like Christian
Mm-hmm.
women more particularly feel a need to uphold marriage beyond I guess
Yes.
normal, even like pastors' wives, right? Where the pastor is doing something like shady, but they feel
Mm-hmm.
like it's on them to keep it together. So to me, I'm like, how do we break that cycle? Because I think that same thing with Nigerian churches. Once we're blaming the devil for something, then we're not holding anybody accountable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. For me, I think it's I don't know. Let me speak as I know someone within the family who, was kind of, church said do this. I know a woman who we were friends, well, our family friend, and her husband was not a member of the church. And this
Mm.
man, she was a worker. So she'd be like, I'm going for workers meeting. The man is like, no, you go for workers meeting next month. I'm divorcing you. So I think I had to just tell the church. And, the church was fighting with this woman that,
Hmm.
how can you pick your husband over how
Hmm.
can you pick your husband over God? I'm like, what? Like, are you going to pay her? Like, the money the guy is giving her, are you going to give her? And the man throws her out. When he throws her out, are you going to, like, give her a house to live in? Like the woman took out, like, she was just following church blindly. And it's because I feel like she had something that she was hoping she would get from being a
Right.
worker in church, because that's what they taught her. And the guy is like, look, auntie, I'm going to Edo State, so I'm going to be a senator. If you don't come with me, I'm marrying another wife.
Simple.
Nobody told that. She was asking my mom. My mom was like, because my mom too was in her own dilemma. But my mom was like, look, your husband is really, he'll probably become a senator tomorrow. Number one. Number two, like, this guy has been managing you. So I think some people, I don't know. If I think it's exposure and it's wisdom, because this woman was very educated. She came from a wealthy background, but she was just in that church thing. So I don't know if it's a personal, maybe if you have personal problems and you feel like you owe God something, or you owe the church. Maybe the church is helping you, so you feel like,
Trauma.
oh, I need to give back. Yeah, exactly, trauma. I think it's trauma that makes people for like not to think straight, and you start thinking in a different way or something. And the church people too are there to brainwash you. So I don't know. I think it's that's based on personal experience, yeah,
Do you know what
or people
I
I've known at some point.
yeah, this Danae, right? I spent some time going through her Instagram, because after I saw this, her whole wearing the berets, wearing the this thing,
Beret
quoting,
of
you understand,
salvation.
right? I went on her Instagram page to understand where this was coming from, and I realized that it started in May 2020. The posts before that were regular posts of holidays, of, you understand what I mean?
Mm.
Regular,
Mm,
regular, very regular birthday post, post of her and her husband going on trips, very regular posts, right? Not one.
yeah.
I don't think I even saw any religious post. But then from May 2020, I now started
Mm,
seeing, that's when she now, I think, posted the first post where she then talks about being raped, or the post where she talks about her causing her father's death and all those kind of things. Now,
oh,
I believe what happened to her, maybe because this
maybe there was a trigger.
yes, because this the first person that outed this Derrick Jaxn, the first side chick, would we say, who I think it was in July. I'm saying May 2020 is when this lady started posting religious something. July is when this Derrick Jaxn now was with this side chick that came to his house, and he said they were moving because she
Mm.
saw boxes or something, or Abi they planned Miami trip or whatever. What I'm trying to
Yeah.
say is that maybe at this time there was a break, in
Mm,
the woman's state. You understand?
mm,
It's not like maybe her past did not now come to contribute to it because of the past she has been sharing. But I think she now started reliving her past, and then all she could turn to was the church,
Mm.
which she now turned to. Now, I believe a lot of the time, what happens with a lot of, even in every religion, when you move from one place to the other, sometimes people go to an extreme, an unrealistic extreme. And I think she has gone to an unrealistic extreme that
Mm.
is now very, very, it's like she's a fanatic now. And
mm,
fanatism is not good, because I believe
exactly.
Christianity is as real as it gets. But a lot of the time, we now make it big, like not bigger than it is. We now make it very confusing in our head. So I
Mm,
personally believe maybe she is still suffering. There is an element to her, not as in, when you go and they say you go to the altar for God to forgive you for your sins. But the problem is, I
mm.
believe a lot of people don't even forgive themselves.
Selves,
Mm.
exactly.
It's like she owes, it's like she feels she owes God this change and this whole
Exactly.
facade. But then I don't think that is what is required, because it's for you to stay grounded and come down to the reality of, okay, this A is B, B is C, but then she has now put a whole spin to it. And a lot of the time, most people, when you're looking for who to blame, you now start
Mm.
blaming it on
Yeah,
spiritual attack and spiritual this thing. And that is the
exactly.
angle she has gone to. And what we are trying to say, me, I won't even, whatever she wants to do, because we are not in a relationship, whether to stay or to go. But the issue
Mm-hmm,
is, we have to define the problem. The problem is Derrick Jaxn has messed up.
mm-hmm,
Derrick Jaxn has been caught. he has been unfaithful.
There was a court.
Whatever it is, yeah, there was a court, you understand, and maybe there are other personal issues. So there needs to be help. She needs to seek help, and a lot of the time, unfortunately, a lot of churches and would I say
Churches, yeah.
religious, they
They don't
bury
give
these
that.
problems. They bury these problems on all these oh, it's the devil, attack, defend.
War
You
room.
understand that kind of thing? War room. You understand? And this thing the devil is the person in your head. You need to get out of yourself and change your mentality. That is all it needs to be. You're not fighting with anybody outside. You need to understand that is in your head. You need to clear your head and be normal, because God
Exactly.
cannot penetrate, because you're attacking. Even when God is telling you something, you're attacking him, you're saying it's from the devil. So how do we even get to talk to you? So I believe she's just going through religious fanaticism, because the way her
Yeah.
post just changed all of a sudden, and the way her dressing just changed, the way everything just changed, and now it's like, okay, is this south that you're going to now? Is
The
it
thing
to
is, some people
answer with?
punish, they want to punish themselves for life. But it's like Jesus has already died for our sins. All you need to do is go to God, kneel down, pray, I'm sorry. Or if something happened to you that you think is your fault, you confess and what they call, is it penance or what? You pay your penance
Mm,
or whatever, and
mm,
then you move on with your life. You should not be in a marriage, or you should be, I mean, yeah, it's either you're a reverend sister or you're married. You cannot marry two people. So if churches are saying, oh, you're a worker, or churches are saying you cannot divorce, no, like even the Bible that says we should not divorce also gives that, like Olu was saying, if there's adultery, then you have a right to divorce your husband and move on with your life. Me, I don't believe in suffering. Oh, as long, like Jesus has suffered and he has gone to heaven. So me, I cannot come and suffer that kind of suffer. That's my own show.
I just feel she with hopes that she'll come out of it. I just feel she's in a trance, and this
Exactly.
is her coping
Oh.
mechanism, unfortunately, and it is not helping her, especially for the fact that she's coming to the world who already do not even show love on a normal day. So all they will do is
Mm-hmm.
to be hating on you. So I'm just praying that she can get into herself and understand what she should do, because it's just looking messy. It's even looking like she's worse off now. Like she's having mental problem, or I don't know.
I mean, I would say this in closing, right? I think that many churches, I don't know of any church that doesn't do some sort of marriage counseling,
Mm.
right?
Mm,
And I think the issue that I'm having with that process is the issue that I have with that guy that was on Clubhouse, is people that have no background in psychology, right,
Mm.
or psychiatry are giving advice solely from a Bible perspective.
Perspective.
Not that the
Mm-hmm.
Bible isn't enough, but it's so subject to your own individual interpretation and your own individual trauma, which is why we will
Yeah.
have pastors that beat their wives, at home, being the ones to
Mm-hmm.
lead marital counseling. What exactly are you going to tell the man and the woman that isn't going to be aligned with you thinking it's okay to hit a woman, right? So for
mm,
me, I think that we need to divorce that process from it being strictly religious. Maybe get a certified therapist that believes in God, so that maybe
Mm.
they can now sprinkle the religious base. Because to me, I think that if you go through a psychological evaluation, some of these traumas should come out, and
Mm-hmm.
then you people should be forced to ask the question: are you ready for this? Right?
Mm.
Because
yes.
no way a psychologist would not have been able to see some of these. Because I think the key thing with narcissists is I say one thing and I do something else. There's one set of
Mm,
rules for me and another set of rules for you. I don't think
mm,
that
Mm.
there's no way that as the psychologist had gone through their life history that would not have come, like that inconsistency would not have come
mm,
out. So yeah, that's what I would say in closing, is that I think from a church perspective, marriage counseling needs to be taken as the serious business that it is, not just our pastor have been married for 3 years or 30 years, let him do counseling. I mean, experience is great, but I think that more and more we say that we need like a like a clinical evaluation really for some
Yeah.
of these couples. So after that, in closing, but ladies, it's been real. So have a wonderful day.
Bye
you
bye. Bye
too.
bye. Bye bye.
Bye.